Hey, God bless. Let's get with the business of the day. The business of the day includes the subject of dealing with principalities and powers and the rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in places above our heads. Yeah. Whole lot of things are going on in the world today. Wars and rumors of wars. All kinds of things are going on in families and on the street. Not only in government, but in education and other places and other scenarios. So, hey, what's the struggle all about, and how can we deal with these struggles? Well, I want to read a passage out of Ephesians chapter 6. Some of you may be well familiar with it, but in chapter 6 of Ephesians and verse 12, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Notice the word wrestle. Wrestle. There is an encounter that we are experiencing now. It's a struggle. It's a fight. It's a hassle. And to be passive or oblivious to the reality of all of this means you must be in a good headlock, and or the mind is blinded and we can't see it for what it really is. Yes, we are wrestling against principalities. I want to go to Daniel chapter 10. Many of us know about the prince, which is a place of dominion, or principality, a place of dominion, or a prince, one with influence in that place of dominion. There's a struggle, there's a wrestle that's going on. In America, there are principalities. In the hemispheres, there are principalities. In states and cities, and any particular government, there are principalities. Now you have spiritual and you have natural, geographical. You have all these different types of scenarios that could be concluded as principalities. Here in Daniel chapter 10, here Daniel is told by Gabriel, the angel who came through to speak to him about some matters, verse 11 and following, "And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright. For unto thee am I now sent." For unto thee am I now sent. Wow. Okay? Remember that. "And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. Then said he unto me," verse 12, "Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. But," verse 13, "but the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia." Now, let's put it in today's context. Persia in the Bible is modern day Iran. And Iran has a prince that controls what's going on in that country. I'm not talking about the Ayatollah Khomeini's. I am talking about the spiritual entities, if you please, those princes that are under the construct and dominion and auspices and rulership of Satan himself. That dragon, that serpent, that devil. That's right. He has principalities and powers that he functions or he operates, and you and I, we are dealing with those principalities. America has a prince over her, and you wonder who that might be. But we know back in the day, there was a prince of Persia, a demonic, or not the demonic, but something higher than a demonic. It was a fallen angel, if I really believe that, a fallen angel that came out of heaven with Lucifer, who became the devil, Satan, the serpent, the dragon, that deceiver. And he has been placed over Persia to do his work. So here Daniel is reading, if you read the whole context, he's reading the book of Jeremiah, and he discovered that, hey, wait a minute. 70 years have been completed, and now it's time for us to get out from under the dominion of the Babylonian Empire. So he begins to pray and fast and seek God about the situation. And 3 weeks after Gabriel gets through, having been held up 21 days, because Gabriel, get this, Gabriel didn't have the same status that Michael, one of the chief princes, had. So here you have this struggle that's going on. Now, America, the beautiful, the land of the free, the home of the brave, America should have a greater prince than the prince of Iran or Persia. Should have. But what happens, we have a problem on the line right now. And in order to get that problem off of the line, because we're dealing with lion spirits, Persia, Iran today, all the Ayatollah Khomeinis and the Ahmadinejads, they're lion spirits, they're deceiving spirits, and they're murdering spirits. They're out to kill, to steal, kill, and destroy. That's right. And everyone is fair game. Everyone is fair game. Even those who ascribe to Islam, they're fair game. As long as the mandate for Islam is fulfilled, it doesn't matter who dies. They'll kill themselves, you and everybody else. So here we have this problem. America is a lot more stronger than Iran, has a whole lot more weaponry than Iran. It's a bigger nation, everything. But there's a problem on the line. And I hope you hear me, and I hope you don't get confused over what I'm really trying to say. Gabriel was a messenger who came to give a message, but he was held up. And in this debacle that was going on, God had to send a stronger entity, if you please, Michael, to really stop all of that nonsense and delay. Not that Gabriel had a problem in himself. No, the rank wasn't there. Just the rank wasn't there. And I believe that in every place, including the White House. Now, I'm not talking about the president, but I'm just saying, I'm not negatively communicating about him, but I'm just saying right now he's outranked. That's right. The one who's in the White House is not up to the par of that particular level of authority. So therefore, he doesn't have the rank to deal with the forces or the opposition, to deal with Iran, to help Israel, to deal with the United States the way the United States ought to be dealt with. So we need to pray, we need to fast in order to get some more help. We need a change. We need a change. We need someone with greater standing, greater rank. So since elections are just over and people are looking at another 4 years, how is that going to take place? I have an idea. Well, you can take it or leave it. But my idea is that there is a person by the name of Benjamin Netanyahu, who's the prime minister of Israel, who has a lot better standing and his rank is higher than though the person that's in the White House in the United States of America. You say, how could that be? Tiny Israel, that little place, insignificant almost on the map, and the opposition want to wipe it off the map? Well, if you really study the history of Israel, Israel only got defeated when it was in rebellion against the law of their God. That's all. That's the only way, and the only time in which Israel suffered any defeat, when it was in disobedience. Okay? Well, you say it's not in obedience today. Well, you can say that, yeah, you can say not in obedience to the law as far as we know. However, we have to look at providence. We must look at the prophetic word talking about what is going to happen with or without their obedience. I know you're saying, no, it can't happen. Well, when you read Romans chapters 9, 10, and 11, you'll find that even, oh, let me read something here because I know somebody is saying something. Get this. In Romans chapter 10, it says here in verse 21, but to Israel he said, all day long I have stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people. Wow. Sounds like a bad scenario there. But the prophetic word must be applied here. That prophetic word must be applied here in chapter 11, where it goes on to say, verse 25 and 26, it says, for I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And so all Israel shall be saved. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. There you go, friends. Look, the prophetic word, it's going to happen. So right now what you have here is a person who's prime minister who gets this, who's being tutored, being instructed by people who know the prophetic word. This is why he can be as bold as he is. This is why in station and place and in time and in rank, he outranks President Barack Obama. That's right. Benjamin Netanyahu in little tiny, little teeny little Israel outrank President Barack Obama, who's president of the United States of America. All right? And all you need to do is just stay tuned, even with the liberal media, ABC, NBC, CBS, yes, CNN, MSNBC, and all the PBS and all the Associated Press. Check them out. They won't have any choice but to bring the news to you as it happens. They can put all the spin on it they want to, but the fact is there's a prince that's in opposition to God's program, but there are those who have standing, and right now Netanyahu has the standing, and something is about to go down. Stay tuned. Until then, God bless.